think probably the thing that will be on most asset managers' minds is in relation to the change to, or potential change to carried interest and the taxation treatment of that. It's been referenced by the Labour Party on a number of occasions, and there doesn't seem to be any doubt that the tax treatment will change and will feature in the manifesto. And it's clearly a huge issue. The Shadow Chancellor has referred to it as a tax loophole, although of course it's obviously been established practice for many years now with the odd tweak here and there. And moving the tax treatment onto an income basis, which is what they seem to be saying, will have a huge financial impact for fund managers that are tax resident in the UK. A jump from 28% to 45 plus potentially. Now, all things tax, the devil will be in the detail, and what's announced, is often not the reality. So we don't know exactly how far the proposals will go, but I think we can expect robust legislation if the Labour Party comes to power. I would expect that it will only be market value investments into a fund that will receive capital gains tax treatment going forward. The Conservative Party haven't commented on it. But they did interestingly reduce the highest rate of capital gains tax down to 24% for everything bar carry in the last budget.
Yeah.
Shadow Chancellor has said that she expects to raise 440 million from that change alone. But I think that presupposes whether asset managers simply accept the change, and certainly conversations with our clients to date would indicate that a number are already considering alternatives, including potentially relocating overseas. And I think that probably brings us on to another potential issue or policy change, which would be in relation to non-DOMs. In the budget, the government announced its intention of scrapping non-DOM status in 2025, albeit with a 4-year transitional period. At the time, they were accused of stealing Labour's thunder, and it clearly is something that is very much again on Labour's agenda. And they've said that they will close what they view as perceived loopholes with Conservative non-DOM reform plans. But having said that, there's already been a sort of 50% decrease in the number of non-DOMs in recent years, and we would expect that to decrease further if draconian, or I should probably say that's probably party political, but if non-favourable tax legislation is brought in, and it looks like it's on the agenda for both parties. So I suppose for non-DOM asset managers, they've got a potential double hit in that they'll have to change their non-DOM status and potentially to their carry status. And I think the final thing that I would mention at this stage as a potential issue is obviously generally capital gains tax. The Lib Dems have already made it a large part of their manifesto. The Conservatives have said that it isn't something that they would look to significantly change. The Labour Party are, I think sort of backbenchers are putting a lot of pressure on the Shadow Chancellor to potentially make CGT and income tax rates the same. clearly any change in rates is going to have an impact on investors and potentially on the return from some funds. So it's, you know, it's definitely an issue that is going to require further consideration. And unfortunately, you know, none of that is probably particularly encouraging for asset managers. And we can really only wait and see what happens when, you know, after the 4th of July and, you know, when we know more detail. I would say, though, not being too flippant, but if you're a non-dom asset manager with children in private school who's expecting a carry payout, you know, things probably aren't looking too great at the moment.